Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Did you check into General Hospital today, Thursday, May 1st, 2025? If not, then you missed a lot, so here is a recap. It's the day of Kai Taylor's Jens Austin Astrup surgery, and Trina Robinson Tayyana Ali is at his side. So is the annoying documentary filmmaker that Drew Kane Cameron Matheson has hired, trying to get every bit of footage possible. Eventually, Trina heads for the waiting room, where she finds Emma Drake, Braden Bruner, and Jocelyn Jacks Eden McCoy there to support her. The filmmaker follows her, but he can't get any more footage because Joss and Emma sit close to Trina and refuse to sign a necessary release. Emma has been working hard on an extra credit assignment that she must complete to be in the running for Professor Dalton's Daniel Goddard research assistant position. She is done and jokes about guarding the flash drive with her life as she puts it into her pocket. Vaughn is lurking around GH, and Joss tells him that she needs his help in destroying the drive and then getting it back into Emma's possession at the bonfire party later that night. After Laura Collins' Jeannie Francis shares her adoption story with her daughter, she realizes that there is something very off about Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havins. She comes clean and, without naming names, Lulu explains that she knows about an adoption situation where most of the parties have been left in the dark. Laura understands that Lulu feels like she is now also keeping this secret, which makes it her secret to tell, but that is just not the case. Laura implores Lulu not to play God in other people's lives. Especially since if she blows everything up, she will be the only one without any pieces to pick up. Lulu seems to grasp the significant damage that she can cause, and thanks her mother for listening to her. After listening to Drew pound on her mother's door, Willow Corinthos Caitlin McMullen decides to confront him directly. Once inside, Drew asks Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros to give them some privacy, but Willow wants her mother there. Drew insists that he remembers nothing and that the behavior of his that has gone viral makes no sense. Willow tells Drew that she believes her eyes more than she believes him and what she saw was a hooker in their bedroom. She fears that his behavior will cost her custody of Wiley and Amelia. Drew insists that something just doesn't add up, and he wants to go to GH to be tested. Nina tries to get him to leave, but Drew insists that Willow should go with him. She says that she doesn't want to hear any more lies and agrees to go with him. Tracy Quartermain, Jane Elliott, is cackling over the story about Drew in the Herald. She is praising Lulu's journalistic work as Brooklyn Quartermain, Amanda Seddon, Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, and Gio Palmieri, Giovanni Mazza enter the room. She is thrilled that Lulu played a part in Drew's fall from grace, and BLQ can't stand it. She flips out about Lulu and storms off, with Chase following her. He catches up with her and she explains that Lulu doing an article on adoption is eating away at her. Chase tells her he is going to help fix things and leaves. Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprigna, is at Lulu's house fixing something as Rocco Falconeri, Finn Carr, and Danny Morgan, Asher Antonizin, look on. Dante gets a call from Yuri at the Q's, saying that the boys left a mess at the boathouse, and he insists that they go and clean up after themselves. It takes some work, but Danny eventually talks Rocco into going to the bonfire that night. Chase knocks on Lulu's door, to find Dante, and he firmly asks him to help get Lulu off of Brooklyn's back. Dante doesn't really understand the problem and believes that Lulu's adoption article is coincidental. He doesn't see why Chase and BLQ deciding to adopt would have anything to do with Lulu. Back at the Q's, Brooklyn circles back to apologize to Tracy for getting upset earlier. Tracy doesn't understand why she is so jealous of Lulu when she has everything going for her. Lulu, on the other hand, is at a disadvantage because she is trying to put her whole life back together again. Tracy keeps pushing, and finally, BLQ blurts out that Lulu knows that she had a baby in high school and gave it up for adoption, and now she is holding it over her head. Port Charles was buzzing with tension, secrets, and simmering confrontations on May 1st, as long-held truths threatened to unravel fragile alliances. From the Corinthos household to the Quartermain mansion, hearts were tested and loyalties questioned. In the eye of the storm stood two women, Willow Tate Corinthos and Brooklyn Quartermain, each facing a reckoning of the emotional kind. Willow draws a line. At the Metro Court, Willow Corinthos arrived with a calm, determined energy, one that masked the firestorm brewing beneath her surface. Her appointment wasn't medical, nor social. She had requested to meet Drew Kane, the man who had once held her trust and respect. But recent events had tarnished that image. In light of his actions with Nina and the crusade against her mother-in-law, Carly, Willow felt compelled to speak her truth. Drew welcomed her with an easy smile, his phone in hand, still buzzing with updates from Aurora. Willow, I wasn't expecting you to come in person. Everything okay? She nodded but didn't return his smile. I wanted to talk to you. Face to face. There was a brief pause before Drew gestured to the small seating area by the window. Of course. Willow sat, her posture upright, her voice measured. I need to say something, and I want you to hear me out before you respond. Drew gave a cautious nod. Go ahead. She inhaled slowly. I stood by you when you were released from Pentonville. I admired your strength, your commitment to justice. But what you're doing now, this vendetta against Nina, it's crossed a line. Not just for me, but for my children. For our family. Drew bristled. This isn't a vendetta. It's about accountability. Nina committed a serious crime, and she needs to face the consequences. Willow didn't flinch. You mean turning Carly and you in for insider trading? Because let's be honest, you were guilty. Drew stood up, pacing. That's not the point. Willow's voice softened, but her words struck with precision. The point is, you're hurting people in the name of justice. You're hurting me. Nina may not be perfect, we've had our share of struggles, but she's trying. She's been there for Wiley and Amelia. And she's my mother. Drew stopped pacing. His shoulders sagged just slightly. I didn't mean to hurt you, Willow. But you did, she replied. And if this is who you are now, someone who holds grudges and lets them bleed into his family, then I don't know if I can keep supporting that. Silence hung between them. Drew's jaw tightened. So what are you saying? I'm saying think about who you're becoming. And if you keep down this path, you may lose more than you bargained for. With that, Willow stood and left, her composure intact, but her heart pounding. Outside the Metro court, she took a deep breath. She hadn't expected to change Drew overnight, but she'd said what she needed to. Whether he heard it, that was another story. Brooke Lynn's secret comes to light. Meanwhile, at the Quartermaine mansion, the drawing room was cloaked in an unusual stillness. Tracy Quartermaine sat in her favorite chair, eyeing her granddaughter, Brooke Lynn, with her usual mixture of suspicion and affection. You've been tiptoeing around me all week, Tracy said, arching a brow. Spill it. Brooke Lynn hesitated, her fingers wrapped tightly around her mug of tea. She had rehearsed this moment a dozen times in her head, and every version of it ended in disaster. But there was no more hiding. She owed it to herself, to Chase, and maybe even to her grandmother. I have something to tell you, she began. And you're not going to like it. Tracy snorted. Darling, you say that as if I like anything. Out with it. Brooke Lynn took a steadying breath. I turned down the job offer from Deception. Tracy blinked. The what now? I turned it down. The executive liaison role. Lucy practically begged me to come back after the IPO fiasco, but I said no. Tracy leaned forward, all traces of sarcasm vanishing. You turned down a chance to rebuild your career. Why? Brooke Lynn bit her lip. Because I want something different now. I want to focus on music again. On writing. On supporting Chase. And, she hesitated. Because I'm scared. I'm scared that if I go back, I'll fall into the same patterns. That I'll lose myself again trying to please everyone else. Tracy sat back, arms crossed. So you're hiding behind your insecurities and calling it growth. Brooke Lynn flushed. That's not fair. No, what's not fair is wasting your potential. You've got a head for business, Brooke Lynn. You can do this, and do it better than Lucy or Maxie ever could. Brooke Lynn looked away. I'm tired, Granny. I want something real. I want to be a wife, maybe a mom someday. I want to build a life, not a resume. Tracy's voice softened, just slightly. And you think you can't have both? Brooke Lynn looked up, eyes shimmering. I don't know, but I do know I can't chase a corporate ladder just to prove something. Not to them. Not to you. For once, Tracy didn't lash out. She simply regarded her granddaughter for a long moment, then gave a slight nod. Then don't do it for me. But don't sell yourself short, either. Because the Brooke Lynn I know doesn't walk away from a challenge, she writes the song and owns the label. Brooke Lynn smiled, a little teary. Thanks, Granny. Don't thank me yet, Tracy replied. I'm still judging you silently. The tension broke just enough for a shared laugh, but something deeper passed between them, a fragile understanding, a flicker of mutual respect. The kind that can only grow through honesty. Other threads weaving tighter. Across town, other storylines inched forward. Nina, unaware of Willow's confrontation with Drew, continued her tentative reintegration into her daughter's life. A quiet moment with Amelia, where the baby reached out to her with innocent trust, brought Nina to tears. But she knew better than to hope too fast. Carly, still reeling from the SEC fallout, remained guarded. A cryptic phone call hinted that she was considering a new business venture, something beyond the Metro Court, and possibly away from Port Charles. Chase, blissfully unaware of Brooke Lynn's career decision, spent the afternoon helping the PCPD investigate a new string of break-ins. But his mind wasn't on the case, it was on the upcoming wedding. He had no idea the conversation between Brooke Lynn and Tracy might reshape their future. Michael continued to play peacemaker, caught between his loyalty to Willow and his complicated feelings toward Sonny. His decision to keep Sonny at arm's length was tested again when Sonny reached out, not as a mob boss, but as a father trying to keep his family from splintering further. Closing thoughts. The May 1st episode of General Hospital reminded viewers that personal growth doesn't always look heroic. Sometimes it's found in quiet moments of truth, in choosing integrity over ambition, or family over vengeance. Willow stood her ground, not for Nina, but for her children. Brooke Lynn chose her path, not for success, but for peace. As the sun set over Port Charles, the future remained uncertain. But one thing was clear. These women were no longer willing to stay silent, and the men in their lives, they'd better start listening. Thanks for watching this video and please subscribe our GH News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.